What's the deal, everybody? I'm making this video because something in my heart told me to, but I appreciate you tuning in to episode 38, Coach Shep edition, more work to do. I made this video because, one, I didn't want to drop this episode because we was having a lot of technical difficulties throughout the month. That's been really irritating my soul. But I just want folks to know that, people who second guess certain shit because they want it to be like perfect. Or so, this nigga behind me. Oh shit! Damn it! Move! Back to what I was telling y'all. Intellectual But Ignant. Yeah, the episode was never gonna be perfect. We was dealing with some software issues. It's still a great episode, but you might notice little weird sounds randomly. And yeah, I say that to say, for anybody out there who just be like second guessing their gifts, that it's never gonna be perfect, man. If it was, what's the point of the journey? So we still got more work to do. I hope y'all enjoy the episode, and don't forget to subscribe because I'm tired of sending threats and emails and robbing and doing shit I don't want to do no more. I'm trying to get out this shit, you feel me? So subscribe, man. Save me so I can save you. And it's on. Appreciate y'all.
Where's Flip?
He's gone.
Yeah, right. He's probably around here somewhere getting high or some shit.
He's dead. It's time you and me played.
Fuck you. Why don't you play yourself?
Come on, tough guy. Let me see what you got, huh? Huh? Come on. It's like I thought. You ain't nothing but a pussy. Let's go. First basket wins. Winner gets both. Deal? All you gotta do is score, Kyle. Is it a deal?
It's a deal.
Let's score. I ain't Flip. Damn, that's a weak crossover. I know you can do better than that. Taking off his coat. Ooh, scared. Georgetown? I don't think so. Show me something and don't let it be that weak-ass jump of yours. How about some bunks? How about some crazy hard, scar your motherfucking ass bunks? What, is there a problem, Kyle? Isn't that what you wanted to give Flip?
No problem.
And bend your ass over.
I lost. I owe you.
You owe me?
That's right. I owe you.
You hear that, nutso? The boy here says he owes me. He owes me! Are we even? Are we even? You don't owe me nothing. You owe yourself and the ones that cared enough to get you here. Believe me, I know.
Was doing stuff, and then you go to his page. He played under this team called what's they called? Bet he played under some team called where is this called? I want to say they under overtime elite, A&M elite. Some shit I ain't never heard of. It's a little different. It's another league. But he's averaging a triple-double, like 40, 10, and 12. I'm like, for 3-4 years now.
Right. That's
coming
crazy.
from like the numbers is insane to where I'm interested in anybody who just. It was an example of preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah,
and I love that. So he don't got the most followers, but I'm like, I see something, I want to interview.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
So, but like you said,
Nah, it's always those people, man. Like I tell people that all the time. It's like, yeah, you playing EYBL, you playing Adidas, 3SSB, you on the Under Armour circuit, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, the people that you can see is not the problem. It's the dude that didn't get picked, or he playing on this independent team or whatever. Like that's the dude you got to worry about because you can't see him.
Yeah,
and then you up here signing autographs and getting your Instagram followers up, and
the Steph Curry's, the Tyler Halliburton,
Halliburton. Like I mean, like yo, these dudes is. All right, cool.
They started picking them off.
As soon as I see you. As soon as I see you.
No, for real. That just don't mean nothing, man.
Like, that's where, I mean, that's kind of like the beauty of it, though, man. It's never the people that you can see, typically, you know what I mean? But
different times, though,
crazy, man.
I want to say welcome back to Intellectual But Ignant. I'm your host, Mako. And I got a real special guest here with me today, man. I got a 4-time champion the last 6 years, like defending champ, one the assistant coach at Willard High School, a certified trainer at VertiMax, the head of production at Honor Road Clothing, a list of things. Mr. 375 Holt Road is what they call him, a real players coach. The list goes on, you know what I'm saying? One of the coaches at Decatur Blazers, you know what I'm saying? Like, hands-on with the kids. A real special guest with me, Darnell Shepard, a.k.a. Shep. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Like I said, we're going to talk about it. I want to say, if you know Shep, you didn't get that name from the classic?
Nah, I didn't. That's funny. No, I got that name because, obviously my last name is Shepard. But when I was in middle school, there was a kid there named Darnell. And so like Darnell, like it kept getting kind of jumbled up, and like I was not a good student, behavior wise in middle school. So like his name would get brought up and stuff that I was doing and things like that. And so finally, one of our teachers was just like, man, we got to be able to differentiate too, So he was like, your name's Shep from now on. And, and Darrell kept Darrell, and so ended up working out, man.
Real basketball heads, when they hear Shep, I'm thinking like, Shep from
Butter Rim. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it ended up working out. Yeah, it ended up working out for me.
Hard.
Yeah, it ended up working out.
So of course you came up in Georgia, but you born in D.C., from New York originally.
Yeah. So born in D.C. and then, spent years in New York, and then that's why kind of my accent kind of go all over the place. But Atlanta is home for me. Went to middle school, high school here.
Same.
So, I mean, Atlanta's home. It's going to take something real epic in order for me to, get a new home base.
I got to ask you this. When you first come from them type of backgrounds and you come to Georgia, you peep the Southern hospitality for the first time, right?
Right.
It's a little different when people
super different.
Is waving at you, you driving by. Do you catch yourself, you being, Georgia being your second home, you catch on to that. So you like, okay, I get it. Everybody a little nice. Yeah. You take it back home and niggas like,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Nah, it turned into a thing for real.
Yeah. That just happened to me in Boston. I ain't gonna lie. I get on elevator, I'm like, how y'all doing? They like,
yeah, like
I don't know you.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter how I'm doing.
Don't talk to me. But how you deal with that?
No, that's a true thing. I'll never forget, man. Like we had just moved to Georgia, so the Southern hospitality thing kicking in. I think I want to say like 7th, 8th grade at this time. At this time, I go back home, for the summer, and I'm at PAL, it's Police Athletic League. Yeah. So basically, like in the hood, like the police officers,
youth league joint.
Yeah, try to like community outreach type joint. But you know, if you could hoop, you played in that or whatever. So I'm at PAL, and me just not even thinking about, okay, I'm, you know, back in the city or whatever. Like, I'm sitting next to these dudes and like they talking, and I hear what they talking about. So I jump in the convo like, yeah, no, you know, and they looking at me like, who is this nigga? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, oh, my bad, you know. But here, like, it's cool, you know. Yeah, it's cool to do that.
Here.
Yeah.
But it ain't all nice and sweet. It's a little contagious for sure.
Yeah, you definitely can get your head knocked off over here. But like, but as far as the speaking to strangers and, you know, holding the door for people, you know, things that we would just take for granted here, like, that's not a real thing.
It's not. No, I had to learn that the hard way, for real. And then it's on me now as an adult, which ain't nothing wrong with it because it's mannerism.
Right.
But you like, damn, these folks really ain't saying nothing back to me at all. And now I can't say, now where I'm going, I'm just like stiff. Like,
right.
You know, I got to hold my face down. Was you raised by like a single mother?
Yeah, so unfortunately, my biological father, I'm not sure if you familiar with Rayful Edmonds, but in DC, he was like a
big time drug
kingpin, yeah, like super drug lord of DC. He kind of got caught up in that lifestyle, you know, so that's honestly how we went from DC to Baltimore, from Baltimore to New York, and then here. So just moving around. But single mom. But you know, shout out Mom Dukes. Like, she did an amazing job.
That wasn't a dude that was with like the dude that was with Alpo.
So DC if you watch Paid in Full, and he was like, yo, I know some cats down in DC doing it. He was talking about Rayful Evans. Yeah, he was talking about that.
That's crazy.
So biological father was, you know, I mean, he was kind of outside. Yeah, he was kind of outside for real, but it was cool.
I say that to say, so, you know, you did, you know, you went to Wheeler and you play, you know, track and ball, right?
Yeah, so I actually, at Wheeler, we call it 3V. So if you play 3 varsity sports in the same school year, you get like these, you know, different type of awards and letters and stuff like that. So I ran cross country, I ran track, also did high jump, and then play ball. So I was hard. busy
I ain't never
dude.
heard of 3V. That's before magnet school.
So we do have a magnet school at Wheeler, which is it's our STEM program. So math, science, and technology.
Okay.
But yeah, 3V is just like purely about sports.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just purely sports related.
Well, I bring that up because, you know, of course, shout out to single black mothers, you know, like they are
for sure.
You know, everything, especially mine. I want to say, like, you know, when you coaching these kids, do you think, like, I know you notice like how important a father figure is, right? And then you can tell the difference.
Yes.
Yeah, like the ones who, because a mother can only do so much.
Right.
And so I think, do you feel like sometimes, because one of my issues growing up, I used to quit things. Like but you notice as you get older, you know, like little childhood things that form you to who you are today. So 4th grade, I'm playing up on 6th grade, right? And the coach say something crazy to me,
you out of there.
I'm walking out. It was bad. Like, it was real bad. And I ain't have a dad to just slap me in the head, like, go back in there or like push you back in there.
Yeah.
And you start noticing these quitting habits. It followed me in high school. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Coach say something, I'm out this bitch. Like, who's you talking to, right?
Yeah.
Bad habits.
Right.
Till I went to college and my mind developed. And I'm like, why you keep quitting everything? Like, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? And you started noticing the pattern, and I was like, I'm not gonna quit college, right? So then, but I only asked that because I was like, do you notice them type of things? Like,
for sure. And I think like being able to self-reflect is an important tool to have. Most of the time, you don't really see it with kids who, you know, I mean, it's difficult as a single parent. It doesn't matter, you know, man or a woman, but particularly if you're a woman trying to instill certain things that should be coming from a man, like it's difficult to do that. And you can most of the time see the kids who struggle with that. Like for me, it was taking criticism from men because all I had around me was women. My aunt, my mom, you know, the babysitter was a woman, so I didn't realize until I got to high school that like a trigger for me was a dude yelling at me or a dude correcting me. I had a real issue with that, and it didn't help that my temper wasn't that great. You know what I mean? So it was like a perfect storm for complete action. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, so I never really picked up on the quitting thing, but definitely the who are you talking to? The
thing was real.
It turned into like real combative, and it would be like small stuff like, yo, go grab the bag. Like, why I gotta grab the bag? Because I just was not used to dudes telling me to do anything. Even my teachers at school was all women. I think I had one male teacher. You
saw the not to cut you off.
No, you good.
Did you see that Javaris Crinton give a ring?
Yeah, I did see that.
That was deep.
Yeah,
how he kind of explained it makes all the sense in the world. Like,
I mean, and some people would call it an excuse or a crutch, but that is a real thing, though. When you take people from certain environments. And I'm glad you brought up the Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Critton thing. Like, shout out to Javaris. He's doing some good work in the community too now, man. Like, working with AAU programs and giving back to the community and things like that. Sharing his story and
that need to be shared.
Kind of how he fell into what he fell into. But so shout out to him for trying to correct the wrong, that happened. But what he said in that documentary is true, though. Like, you take people from certain environments, and then, in the NBA and on all of these teams, you're putting people all in one pot, and so what would be cool for you, we don't really go with on this side over here. And, it's difficult.
That
it's
was crazy how he
that.
got caught up in what he caught up, but it all is justifiable. And then just looking at his side of it, you remember it. I asked somebody else, like, you remember that story? And they like, nah. I'm like, that shit was a big story. Like, for hoopers, that was a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, but the crazy thing about it was, I hate that he, ended up being a poster child for it, but he wasn't the first one, though.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
that was the first time ever that happened.
Right, yeah, like
Gilbert was tripping. Once Gilbert said that,
yeah,
Gil,
I mean,
he's
but
Gil.
But again, though, like, for him, you coming from the Valley,
he's used to it. You can't.
You think everything is a joke. Everybody not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not playing.
No, for real. Like, you think this is a game? You're placing. He was tripping.
Yeah, he was way out of pocket. but like,
I hope he made his rights. Like,
but again, like, I think that's where environment, that's where upbringing, and that's where, again, just understanding. Like, my background is not your background,
for sure.
And what you think is funny, I think is a threat, and I think a lot of times that's where, miscommunication and things and missteps happen,
Javarius in the way, that's like 01, 02 with him and Dwight?
Nah, he was 04.
Oh, yeah, so that's like
he was
after
04.
You.
Yeah, that was a year after
03.
me. I mean, I watched him when he was in, obviously, I graduated in 03, but I mean, like, that dude was super cold, bro. Super cold.
Yeah.
And, like, just to kind of see how that played out was
you seen a lot of like I said, that 03 class series, because you got LeBron James, it's like basketball guy era.
Yeah, I mean,
like Derrick Rose, 05 though?
Yeah, 05. But I mean, to me,
coming up though.
Yeah, to me, it's like if you're like in that 3 to 4 year, span, like it's,
rivals. You on the computer, you're looking it up. Rivals, highlight tapes. I remember just seeing like Sean Livingston. I hate how people think Sean Livingston, great NBA player, right? Don't get it wrong, but the high school Sean Livingston I always thought was like Magic Johnson. Like, it was like super. I just remember looking at his highlights like, this Sean Livingston is different to the injury in the Clippers thing.
Yeah. I mean,
but he 02.
Yeah, he's 02, I think. But he went. I thought, I wish he would have went to Duke, nice.
Because he go to college.
He didn't. He went straight to the league. Yeah, he went straight to the league. Which, I mean, shout out to him for doing that. But as a Duke fan, you know what I mean? It's like, I wish he would have went there. But nah, I mean, he was super cold though, man. Yeah. A lot of them dudes, man, cold. Just, I mean, special people.
With your eye test, who are some of the top 5 you've seen Like top 5 players you seen in high school, and then we gonna get to what you seen.
So top 5 that I've seen in high school with my own eyes: LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Michael Beasley,
serious.
Derrick Rose, and Brandon Jennings.
Like
them 5,
dudes.
yeah, like them 5, like with my own eyes. Oh yeah, these
I
dudes
low key
are
ain't
different.
like the Brandon Jennings coming at Drew Holiday thing.
Yeah, I mean it was corny, but you know,
because I'm like Drew in high school was different.
Yeah, I mean
he's a winner.
Yeah,
He's been a winner. He was tripping.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes the ego,
For sure,
kick
like,
in,
I was doing this. No.
the ego kind of kick in, but yeah, no,
That's
absolutely not.
No, Drew ain't no cakewalk.
Yeah, it's like, and he's still playing at a super high level,
He
bro.
still got 4 or 5 more years left.
And like Jennings
was
tripping. Yeah, Jennings
you
was,
had your time.
Yeah, and it was good. Like you were good, but
that's
like
one of the best highlight tapes ever. Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, but yeah, nah, bro.
So, all right, so before you get at Willard, it's like the Oak Hill of Atlanta. In a sense, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Oak Hill a little, but Willard, ain't too different. But
I'm about to say.
Y'all about the same. No, I feel you. So before you there, you was at Sprayberry.
Yes.
And, you know, you come in. How did you originally get the Sprayberry job? And you just like, did you always think I wanted to be coaching, or was like I wanted to be part
I
of this
actually had no thought of coaching ever. Like I did a year at an NAIA school in Florida called Johnson & Wales University. Moms got sick, and I knew I wasn't going to the league. I come back home, enrolled up here, and was just hooping, just to stay in shape, And then as fate would have it, I'm in Publix one day. I see my JV coach from Wheeler. He took the head coaching job at Sprayberry. And he asked me if I remembered the offense, and I was like, yeah, like, it's pretty straightforward, And he's like, well, I need a younger dude, that I trust that can come in and, get on the floor with the kids and, like, let's see if we could turn this thing around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shout out to him. He paid for my certification, got me straight, and I was off and running from there. So my main job was offense and player development at Sprayberry, and I really took that serious because I could see basketball was starting to take a turn, and I felt like it was getting super goofy, which it has become even more goofy. But that's a circus everywhere, right? Yeah. But I felt like I could have a more quality impact, through coaching and training. So that's how I started at Sprayberry. I was there for 13 years. Half of the time we were, middle of the road team. And then the last 5 or 6 seasons that I was there, like we really turned the corner and, became noteworthy statewide. A couple 20-win seasons. Kids going to college.
Above 500.
Yeah.
Coming from like Sprayberry, I think they always was just solid.
Right. It was always it was like, I hate to use this word, but like it really is what it is. It was just mediocre. Yeah. Like it was a very mediocre situation for the majority of the time. And then
some teams come in thinking like this a win for us.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want to have that.
Yeah, and it got to the point to where it was every year we knew we were going to be one of the best teams in the region. We were competing for a region championship very often. Yeah. Like I said, the back kind of 5 or 6 years. But yeah, it started off a little rocky, just trying to change the culture. The kids weren't used to winning. That's super difficult when you don't expect to win. It's hard to win when you don't expect it, So it was a challenge and a task, but one that like I thought really prepared me for the next step,
That's crazy how God worked. Which is like, he's molding you for something, right? He's molding you. You didn't see that coming. And then the opportunity come where I think can you mention how you ended up at Wheeler?
Yeah, so
because Wheeler, when I first came here, not to cut you off.
No, you did.
Wheeler was like, coming from Detroit, you hear about the country days, and
yeah.
And then when I moved here, they like, Wheeler High School, they got, J.J. Hickson, and they had like all these different players, like real basketball heads know, and you like, oh, then they really recruiting over there. And so that is the powerhouse of Georgia. I don't think there's no program bigger than Wheeler High School in Georgia. It's not.
It's not.
And or as consistent as Wheeler over the years, because everybody might have a 1 to 2 year run.
Yeah, I mean,
but y'all got like decades.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna get hot, and you kind of get lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
and then you kind of go away.
Mm-hmm.
We got like real staying power. Though. Like, it's a
dynasty.
It's a real thing.
It's like the Lake Show.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
I think. So boom, how you get that opportunity originally?
So
Well, I don't want to cut you up, because I wanted to shout out Larry Thompson. He's just the realest all time.
Oh yeah, he's
the realest dude all time.
I've met like quite a few basketball people like that dude though, and even on like take basketball away from it, just like on an interpersonal level, like. One of the most solid humans I've ever met, dog. Like, South Georgia's own, what I mean? Shout out Camilla, Georgia. I never been there, but he talk about it a lot,
He
gonna rep Camilla for sure.
Real dude.
Super good dude, man. I'm super grateful for him, and what he's meant to my career and, my family and things like that. So, shout out to Larry for real. But I got to Wheeler by, my basketball mentor. His name is Mark Edwards, pro trainer. He's developed a bunch of elite dudes along the way. VertiMax and skill and on court skill, but mainly on court skill. But he does his thing with the VertiMax as well. We both do. So he was working out of Milton High School at the time. And I would, run his workouts of VertiMax on the side while he was doing skill and development. This super, skinny, big head kid walks in the gym one day. He's like, yo, throw him on VertiMax or whatever. He's supposed, this kid got a shot at making it. And I'm like, I'm one of them people that I don't want to talk about a middle schooler making anything because there's too much time, and too many things can happen. Right. Yeah. But man, we did the first VertiMax workout, and the kids struggled to get through it, but kept fighting through. Most kids that
quit.
Yeah, most kids that age, like we just talked about, like, man, the hell with this, like I'm done. But he fought through it, and then we had a second workout, and Larry walks in. And when Larry walked in, I walk up, introduce myself to him. I knew him from afar from when he was at Green Forest.
Yeah.
And so he had just gotten a Wheeler job. So I was congratulating him on that, letting him know I was, Wheeler alumni. And I was looking forward to him, getting everything back on track, because they kind of hit a
wall. They came from Lipscomb?
Yeah, okay. Doug Lipscomb. I played for him. Great, one of the all-time winning coaches here. So, I mean, as it would have it, that kid ended up being Isiah Collier. And so I think
from
Zay
Utah
was
Jazz
I think Zay was going to the 8th grade. So this was like in the summer of 7th going to 8th.
Yeah.
And me and his dad locked in, and then Larry was just like, yo, like, I heard, he was like, you the dude at Sprayberry, because I started running a pro style offense at Sprayberry. And so, tape and film gets out or whatever the case may be. And he was like, yo, you don't want to install that? And I was like, yeah. Like the head coach, gives me kind of like free reign to do whatever I want to do for real. And he was like, man, how would you feel about like kind of coming back home? He was like, I could use that, at Wheeler. And I was like, yeah, say no more. Like, that's easy. Yeah, like
night to go to sleep on it.
No, right then, like,
this
like right there, right there. And I'm like, bro, like, let's do it,
That's
so,
hard.
I waited till the end of the year at Sprayberry to have the conversation, with the coach, and he understood. He was super gracious, didn't do no weird, he was super cool
Happy
about
for
it.
you.
Yeah, like, good. He congratulated me and said, like, you earned it, like, take that and turn it into something else. So that's how I got over to Wheeler, bro. And I mean, first year there in 2020, we won state. And like you said,
that was a freshman year.
Yeah, that was his freshman year. But he actually broke his collarbone or his shoulder. So he only played like, I want to say like 10 or 11 games, something like that. But I mean, you could see it immediately though. It was like, yo, this dude is,
because all his 4 years in high school, he won 3 out of 4.
Yeah, he won 3 out of 4.
I want to kind of rewind because I want to. I don't think a lot of people is Coach Thompson. That's like Zay's uncle.
Yeah.
Okay, because he married to. And you know, I met them. Shout out to Amir.
Yeah,
shout out to Amir.
Yo, Amir's super talented
people,
dude, man. Super talented.
Good family, good village.
Yeah.
I've been knowing them through Boogie, you know, and that was the first time, you know. So me and Boogie, that's my roommate since we was 18. You know, they went to Tucker with Amir.
Right.
And Amir, to me, one thing about Amir, he's like, I compare Amir to Nipsey sometimes. Like, as far as just super cool. He got this thing about him. Yeah. That's their brother.
Yeah.
And, you know, their whole family just been cool since we was younger. And, you know, Boogie, he had mentioned like Amir brother, right? Amir brother. So, but then I'm coming from NorCal where one of my best friends is Scoot Henderson, or the sister Diamond. And Diamond was probably the best woman basketball player I ever seen, as far as like just a straight hooper. Like I would see her drop 40 points, 50 points off straight mid range.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
nah, she was really good.
Yeah, Diamond was crazy.
She was really good.
Diamond was crazy. And then she tore her like Diamond actually got hurt during a basketball tournament I had. I used to throw these amateurs, but she ended up messing like her ACL or whatever. But I used to see Scoop, you know, come in the gym watching her, and he was probably about super young with his afro. She do the same thing. I'll probably go see his first game in 10th grade. I think he had dropped like 55 points against Osborne, because that was my first game. She kept trying to tell me, like, you need to come see him.
Yeah, come see him. Yeah.
Mind you, I'm grown. I'm like,
I got things
I don't
to do.
really want to see high school no more. Life is hitting me right now. You know what I'm saying? Life is on me. Early 20s. I don't care about these little niggas. She's like, no, you need to come to this game. So I come with my camera. I record this game, and you know, I was like, oh no, he played just like her. Like, they got the same.
Yeah, they're really
super aggressive.
Same people.
Yeah, they play just like, same and that's people. The thing that messed me up the most. I'm like, he played just like his sister, and Scoot and Zay would play each other, and I think they had 1 year before Scoot declared, where I think he lost in the Final Four. I think it was Final Four or Elite Eight against Wheeler. When y'all got Kel.
Oh no, we beat them in the championship.
Oh, the championship. Yeah. You know, so not being biased, I didn't think Scoot and them had a better team than y'all. You know, y'all was loaded.
They didn't.
Yeah, and he tried.
He held his own. No, he did what he did.
Yeah, he did. I just want you to know that, though.
No, I mean,
don't get it twisted.
He had like 25 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. He had like 25.
I wanted him to get that take Kel, because Kel, when I was coming up, there was nothing. Right, Kel was just like, I remember they had these twins, but
light-skinned kids.
They had these
I remember
twins,
them. I remember them. They
ended
up transferring
I kind
out.
of did like that little Scoot Zay little thing. That
was not a thing.
It
I mean that respectfully.
Yeah, just that 1 year.
Not a thing.
It wasn't a thing.
Not a thing.
Zay got it. He's a real point guy.
But so what I want to say about that is, I think that, unfortunately, within the basketball community, sometimes we look at positions and we automatically think that they're the exact same thing, and it's not.
That's right.
And I think for what Scoot did super well, I think fit what that team needed, and what Zay provides on every team is always needed. Like, you have to have a guy, in my opinion, at the point guard spot that can set the table for others and make others better around him. And I felt like that has always been Isaiah's superpower.
For sure.
I felt like with Scoot, his superpower is literally like, yo, I'm going to will us to a win. Yeah. Come hella high water, like however I got to do it. And if that mean I got to take 35 shots, I'm chucking it, you know, and I think, but again, for the way the construction of the team, like, it worked, you know what I mean? And obviously it worked for his career, because I mean he ended up being the youngest, professional athlete in the history of the game.
For sure.
And shout out to him for carrying that torch for Cobb County. Like he gave kids something to point at and say, yo, I can go. Yeah, I can go do that. And I think anytime you shift culture that way and shift thought, like you one of the ones, And so super salute to Scoot. It was just for me, having scouted him and having to coach against him. There was never a question in my mind, like, if you're talking about point guard, there is no conversation. Like, it's Zay and then it's everybody else. And y'all could like argue amongst yourselves about it. But like, I mean, if you're talking point guard,
I feel you.
It starts there, you know what I mean? And then the rest of y'all can kind of figure that out.
Yeah, I'm Team Scoot, but I'm also like super big on Zay. Like, Boogie will tell you, like, I'm just like, yo, I've seen it. Then I'm like, he's a real, like, he can do it all. You know what I'm saying? He can do it all. Like, in his passing is more elite, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, he has always been either 1A or 1B in the country as far as passing is concerned. Yeah, and I mean, the kid has won on every level that he's ever played on. So, like, I value winning and the ability to make players around you better, more so than like super gaudy numbers. Yeah, like because I don't think that always translates. He definitely supposed to be. We should be all rookie. Yeah, I mean, he had a slow start. But shout out to Stephon Castle though. Like, gotta say that. Like that dude. He picked the right school. Number one, I think a lot of times, we kind of gloss over these kids' decisions and their families' decisions when it comes time to pick a school. He picked the correct school. He was in the correct system. And that carried over into, playing with the Spurs. And so shout out to him. Zay will be on the all-rookie team. And, obviously, he broke, a 30-year record or 40-year record of the Utah Jazz with rookie assists.
With other point guards to compete against.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and he did that without starting the majority of the year,
that's
so
crazy.
I think when you start really,
I think
drilling that down, that's crazy.
I think that battery at draft night put a battery in his back. Because he was better than, of course, he was supposed to be top 5. He was going in as number 1.
I mean, and, I think that's a cautionary tale of the business of basketball. I don't want to go too deep into kind of like the, but like, but yes, a cautionary tale to kind of the business side of basketball and what that can look like, but I will say Zay and his family handled it graciously, and I think it's just gonna make for a super dope story, as he continues to turn into the player that I believe that he'll turn into and have the career that I believe that he'll have.
Yeah, and I believe everything happened for a reason. That was my first trip to New York where I enjoyed it. I was like, man, I love New York. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it was a summertime New York. It was just like a different energy.
Right.
I'm like, New York I want to move here. I thought about actually moving there. It was different for that time period. I'm just like, that was probably one of my funnest trips last year.
I mean, it was a good time. The after party was good. The draft night after party was good. Got to.
That's when I actually talked to Coach Thompson, and that's when I was like,
for real.
And I put in my mind, I was like, I had told Amir and Champ, I was like, it's probably the realest nigga I done met in the last a long time. I said he's too real.
He's super dope.
That's crazy. Let's get about, because you come from OG Twitter days.
Yes.
I probably had my Twitter since 2009. So I'm considered, I feel like I'm OG on there. Like, I come from the times where if I, let's say, God forbid, if I get famous, they want to look up something, it might go down.
Yeah, no.
It's going to go down because I'm like, why did he say this?
Why would anybody say that on the internet?
What type of person would say this, right? I switched the Twitter name. My name not the same. So
all right, bet.
You can't find it.
Covering some tracks.
I seen something about some of your players because I think Willie gonna repeat. I think y'all got it for the next 2 years, 3 years. It's looking pretty locked in. It's looking good. One of your players I felt like was overslept on when it comes to the top ESPN 100 rankings. Coben
Landrew, yes.
A dog.
Super dog.
Proven. I feel like you said what a lot of people was feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as just like people don't know about just the ranking, why he wasn't
right
on there.
Yeah. So, not to offend my political connects here, but
show called Intellectual But Ignant.
Yeah. No.
It's all good.
It's already baked in. I already got an excuse kind of baked in. All right,
good.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what has happened with rankings is there's a oversaturation of kids, number one, and programs. And with that, I think unless there's these large explosions of stats or eye-catching type things, people tend to you can get overlooked, you know. And my issue that I had with that ranking is he does go to a Nike elite school. We're one of 200 in the country, so the platform is there. He was on the team that played a super national schedule. It wasn't like we went out of town and played, School of the Blind or something like that. Sure. Like, all of our losses, those teams were ranked in the top 7 in the country all year. Excuse me, with the exception of Grayson, they were like top 10, and then.
But they got a lot of players.
Yeah, but so I mean, and with those games, it's like he performed as he was supposed to against elite level competition and against elite level programs. And I think that for too long, it has gotten to a point to where if you question the ranking services, it's almost like how dare you do that type of thing, as though they're above criticism or above being asked a question. And that was my real issue with it, was I asked y'all a basketball question. I ain't talking about your mom. I ain't talking about you. I asked you a regular question. Yeah. How is it that a kid who is a junior All-American Max Preps player is the only player that is not on ESPN Top 100? Like, how does that happen? Anything short of, yo, Shep, my bad, we missed it. Now you just blowing smoke. Like, and they still don't have an answer for that because you can't answer it. Yeah. All it is, yo, we messed up.
For sure. And
that's cool. But too many times I think that people don't lead with that. And it's so much easier.
Apologize.
Yeah, like, yo, I'll do you one better. Don't even apologize. Oversight. Yo, you know what, man? Like, wrong. All right, when the next one come out, if he continues to play the way that he was playing before that first list came out, even if he doesn't get any better, if he just stays exactly what he is, which isn't true because he's gotten better since the season has ended. But we'll correct that. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Something like that.
Who would you compare his game to? Because I'm giving it a little high.
He's Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, Betty Mello.
Yeah, he again, sneaky athleticism. You know what I mean? Like, most people say he doesn't really have explosiveness right now, whatever the case may be, but he was a 4-star wide receiver.
He was a sophomore too, right?
Yeah. Junior this past year, 26. Oh, yeah. He's class of 26. But this is the first year that he hadn't played football up until January. So he's used to really only having about 2 months worth of basketball and then moving into AAU. So he had to get used to the workload, which he adjusted well to. But the kid is a dog, though. Yeah. And like anybody that was put in front of him, he performed the way that you would expect for him to perform. And my thing, and also too, put the basketball down. He's great in school. He's great in the community. He's a great kid. Like, all of these other boxes that you want to be checked, from your student athlete, he checks all of them.
Every time.
So it's like, don't tell me that there's 100 players in the country in his class alone better than him, and then they got a couple kids from Georgia that are ranked, and it's a joke.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
No, for sure.
So it's like, it's to the point to where it's like, but I'm crazy.
A lot of these folks not really in that field either.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, to
I get
me,
why they say you a player's coach though. Like,
yeah, I mean, now again, like, people don't like me because, like, to your point, like, I'm gonna say what most people would think. I'm just gonna say it out loud. But I'm always going to lead with facts and something that can be checked. This isn't an emotional thing. Yeah. Quite honestly, my emotions don't matter when we're talking about getting these kids what they're supposed to get.
For sure.
We gonna, and if we don't get it, we back to the lab anyway. Like it's all good.
Back to work.
Yeah, I do this hashtag more work to do. People started stealing it, but like, it's all good.
That's
like,
you.
No, that's all good. But yeah, so we gonna get right back to work. And even for them to even, make it seem as though we're teaching our kids to feel a certain type of way, when things don't go their way. It's like, two things can be true at the same time, right? Like, I can feel a way about it, and I can also know that I still need to get better. Those aren't mutually exclusive, you know what I mean? And I think, again, a lot of people who are in charge of ranking think that whenever you say something counter to their point, that you're emotional about it. And really, it ain't like, yo, bro, when I tweeted that, I was playing with my son.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't walking around mad or none of that. Like, I'm in the crib.
From OG Twitter cloth.
Yeah, like,
it's like a lot of folks new to it, and we live in this sensitive world now.
Right.
So that just come with
I'm not tripping on none of that stuff.
What's your thoughts? Because y'all got a dog backcourt too with Kevin Savage and Cotto.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, bro, I'm this, again, it's gonna sound biased, but on the perimeter, like, you're gonna be hard pressed to find especially in Georgia, to find the collection of talent that we have on Holt Road. Two guys who don't get mentioned enough, and that is Lamarion Lewis, we call him Lay, and Amari James. Like, them like, when you put them with Kevin Savage and Colbin and Coda, like, that's a lot to deal with, and all of those kids are gonna go play Division I basketball. And again, all of them great kids. They don't get in trouble. They stay out the way. They're about the work. They come from great families. And I think we as a society, particularly in the basketball community, have to start doing a much better job of highlighting kids who go about it the right way, And if we aren't gonna do that, we as adults need to check ourselves, And I think, so that's why I don't mind speaking up, especially when I know that the kids have earned it. Because I always tell them, like, I'm not gonna go out here and advocate for you, and I know that you not working or you playing around in the classroom. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna put my head out there for that. For sure. Like, later for that. You
think Kevin has like
Kevin is the best point guard in 2027
for sure. They got him at like 40, right?
Yeah. And then they have kids in Georgia ranked ahead of him, a couple of whom he already gave that work to. Like, there was no conversation about who was the best player on the floor or best, player at that position when they was on the floor. And again, so, okay, he goes from unranked to 40, cool. But even in my opinion, that's too low because he's playing up. So,
but it always kind of go with your slogan, more work to do.
More work to do. And I said that to Kev too. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
So we saw the list. I say, yo, Kev, this is the greatest thing that ever happened, dog. Like, now we actually have what I like to call a hit list. Yo, we gonna go get each one of them.
For sure.
And you go to a school and you have a staff that we're gonna seek those matchups out. And if you get your head cracked, we back in the lab.
Cross them off the list.
Let's get, let's get back to work. So
I love that.
Yeah, like, we're not delusional, you know what I mean? And I understand why they put a couple of those kids ahead of Kevin. But if you are looking at literally the position itself and how we how we view the point guard spot, it's not a kid better than him in 27 at the point guard position. It's just, and I've seen all of them, and no knock on them. Like, it's a kid in Florida, tough, super tough. I just think Kev is better, you know, and like, that's my opinion, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You know what I mean? It's all opinion based, but I think if you are able to add some facts with your opinion, it just makes for a stronger argument.
No, that makes sense. I think winning just comes with certain things. Like when you winning for a minute, I noticed that even with like when I went to go see the Decatur Blazers play. Shout out to Justin Tay.
Shout out Just Tay, my man LaShawn.
Yeah,
over
all
there.
of them. Like Lil Key, True, all of them. I love them folks, and I think winning programs, people want to see you fall, right? They want to see you like kind of, because it was a time where they had beat a team previous, and they probably took their first loss out of like 17 games recently. And I was looking at the crowd, and one of the groups that was there with another team, I seen a nigga fist pump. I swear to God, I literally looked to the left, and the nigga who was popping shit, he was like it was like so emotional. I was like, oh, they really wanted these boys to lose.
Hey, bro.
And it come with the territory.
Bro, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Dang.
Yo, people come to Wheeler games not to cheer us on. They want to see if we're going to lose.
That's crazy.
And then if we do win, well, y'all ain't win by enough. Like, I mean, y'all beat them by 15.
I see you in the comments too.
Like,
I love you, but you ain't arguing. You just be like, nah,
I mean,
it comes with it.
Yeah. Like,
niggas like, that nigga responded.
I don't care. Like, and that be the thing. Like, again, man, like, I don't be emotional about it. Like, my thing is just like, yo, I saw what you said. I have a counter to that. You know what I mean? And if you want to go back and forth, we can't. I got plenty of time, or at least I'll make time for this right here. But yeah, no, like, I don't, because to me, like, I love the engagement, you know what I mean? And I love basketball. Like, so I'm a barbershop dude. Like,
I will argue.
I got no problem going back and forth with anybody.
And it's everybody's opinion.
And it's cool. Yeah. And yo, we can shake on it.
For sure.
And it's all good, bro. Like,
I
always ask people, I'm like, yo, are we talking about basketball? Are we talking about something else?
Yeah.
Because if we talking about basketball, like,
this is the fact.
It's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I think that kind of catches people off guard because most coaches, you know, don't go back and forth like that.
Yeah.
I tend to think it's funny, and I tend to think that it gives me a way to kind of see a different, you know, side, a different perception of what people are talking about. But yeah, man, like, even the Decatur Blazers situation, bro, like, so, you know, Decatur Blazers merged with Jet Academy for Nike EYBL 2030 and 2029, so 7th grade and 8th grade.
Yeah.
We both were undefeated up until recently, but this past weekend. But yeah, man, I mean, like, even that, like, people like, man, you know, I thought y'all would never lose. It's like, well, damn, bro, like, what, like, but I appreciate the fact that the winning you're paying attention to, and you're really impressed. It's just coming out bad. You know what I mean? And so the same thing with Wheeler, like, bro. Okay, so
I don't think a lot of people expected y'all to win that ring or come back. Like, no.
Oh, you mean this past season?
Yeah, the past season against. Like,
I don't know.
I feel like you wasn't like they were favorites this year.
Yeah, well, that's.
But that was the beauty of now y'all finna be favorites.
Yo, you trying to do the intellectual ignorant thing. Yeah. But see, no, like, it's it for me, right? I don't really care about the opinion of, like, the basketball community because of the amount of time that I spend on the craft, right? So this past season with Grayson and that staff over there, like, they're my dudes. You know what I mean? Coach, I love what Joffrey has done with Grayson. Like, I mean, he took that from a doormat program to they're nationally respected. You know what I mean? And
they was always kind of good at football.
Yeah. I mean, they still like that. You know, they still like that in football. Yeah, I mean, and then my man LaShawn that's over there, like, you know, they have done an amazing job with that program. But I always like to say, yo, if I'm going into a fight with somebody else, I like my chances. Like, I don't really care what the favorite or the thought process, like, cause I know what I know what we doing, you know what I'm saying? And it's proven, you know what I mean? And so with that being the case, this past year, I understood why the basketball community at large, you know, felt, especially when they beat us earlier in the year. I understood why everybody was like, yeah, it's, you know, it's Grayson and then everybody else. The whole time I'm looking at it like, y'all are tripping, because I got these things called numbers. And so I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, yo, if you put our stats, the team stats, side by side and took the name off of it, you wouldn't know who was who. Difference. It was literally a carbon copy of each other. And so my thing was like, hey, you know, with that being the case, like, again, we going into a fight, I like my chances. Yeah. And not only do I like my chances, I felt like we was gonna blow them out because of what it looked like originally, you know, in the first game, you know. And I mean, we had a great game plan and the kids executed it, and we did what we were supposed to do. But like, but to that point, when I was telling people that I'm crazy or oh, you supposed to say that, you coach at Willard. Nah, like,
it's the facts.
Cause like I knew when we like Columbus out of Miami, they beat the brakes off us, you know what I mean? But I went into that game like, yo, if we don't play absolutely flawless basketball, we probably gonna get beat by like 20, 30. And we had a bad quarter. Third quarter, they kicked our ass. I had never been a part of an ass kicking like that in one quarter. But it went the way that I thought that it was gonna go if we didn't do the things necessary to do, because their drop off isn't a drop off for real, you know. And they got 2.5 pros potentially on that team with the Boozer twins, and then see what happened with Richardson. But and then when they got Caleb Gaskins, like, it just made it even worse, you know what I mean? So like, that kid got a shot at making it, you know what I mean? So you talking about a team with 4 pros on it potentially. Yeah, like, you know, you gotta play as close to flawless as possible. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say, bro, like, when we won in 2020, Wheeler's most recent state championship before that was 2015. You would have thought it had been 10, 20 years or something like that in between, you know, one championship to the next one. People were like, oh yeah, Wheeler finally got one. Like, what are y'all talking about, bro? It was 5 years ago. Like, and now that we got 4 and 6, people super quiet about it. Like, you don't really hear the basketball streets, you know, really talking like that.
That's crazy. I want to talk about the slogan in Honor Roll Clothing, because you the head of production at Honor Roll. Shout out to your partners. You know.
Shout out Blair Caffey. Shout out Chris Duncan. Yeah, man.
Y'all been in it since 2010?
Yeah, so
that's 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. Yeah, man. Did it with our own money. We didn't have a handout, you know.
That's just a money down.
It's so expensive, man. It's so expensive. And it's a slow grind for real. But, you know, we weren't like industry insiders or anything like that. Blair came up with the idea when he was in undergrad. I had the money to kick it off. So we started in 2009, but just spent a year of like product development, you know, paperwork, all of that type of stuff. And then finally released something in 2010. And I'm super grateful about the journey and the process of it. Our slogan is excellence as a process. And it certainly is a process with it, you know, with being an entrepreneur in that space. Very difficult, but through that, we've been able to do some really dope community outreach stuff with Trap Music Museum. Shout out Brittany over there.
Like, shout out my boy Drake Goods, Drake everywhere. My brother.
So yeah, like they've been super gracious in helping us with some community outreach initiatives. Please Don't Crash Out. We've worked with the Hawks. We did their City Edition merch last year or year before last. So hopefully we'll, you know, spin the block and do some work with them this upcoming season.
Y'all doing a lot of like, y'all being consistent, but y'all doing like a lot of like lot of like important check marks, I think.
Yeah.
Like even with Wish, ATL.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, Wish has been a great partner with us as far as, you know, carrying the brand and we always sell out every time we in there. So it's a dope situation, man. We've been in quite a few, you know, boutiques and stores. We had a really good deal with Foot Locker. And
what year was y'all at Wish? I used to work at Wish. I'm part of Wish alum, but that was probably personally before I worked at Wish. I was working in Nordstrom's in Buckhead, and then imagine getting like shipped to little 5 points. It was probably real depressing.
Yeah, that was
I didn't like it.
That was a little bit of a shift.
I hated Wish, but
damn.
Networking wise, I met a lot of people that's still around me today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
Wish is one of them spots though.
Yeah, it's a classic Atlanta staple. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know what year. I probably seen the H and stuff.
Yeah, man, what year was that?
I'm like 2016.
I was about to say, I feel like it was like 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there.
That's crazy because I do remember seeing y'all H hats.
Yeah, like I mean we always did well when we was in Wish, man. You know, product placement was always A1. Cause you know, like in Wish, like if you're not like right where the register is, you know, you kind of get buried. You know what I mean? Like you can
get lost in the sauce.
You get lost in the sauce. Yeah. That's so real. Like we always had like super dope product placement. Yeah, they always looked out, man. So when Justin was over there, like, you know, Justin used to always...
You don't know, that's not how you know, like, Frank Cooker, right? Like Frank.
Yeah, nah, so Frank the same way. Yeah, Frank the same way. Super legend, you know what I mean? AUC God, you know what I mean? Yeah. Nah, Frank, we did a collab with Frank, too. And, like, that was super dope. You know, did a hoodie and... couple tees with him. Frank has since transcended, but you know what I mean? He kind of out of here now, but Frank was a super good dude as far as, you know, business.
I never met him personally. I just would hear stories. It's like one of them things that was like, Frank this.
I'm
like, damn, this nigga that nigga, and then he'll send stuff there that we never met, but he getting stuff. I'm like, this is different.
He was like, you know how like you hear about somebody, but like when you see him, it's like,
you know, like
that's him, and like, and it was like that with him, you know, it's just like this larger than almost like mythical, you know, character, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I swear to God, I'm like, yo, this dude's name is dope. He making the Jordans, the top threes. I'm like, he's that guy. That's funny.
But not like super cool dude, though. Super down to earth, man. Like, you know what I mean? Great dude.
I'm gonna take your word on that. Because you super cool.
Well, thank you.
I wanted to talk about two things before we get up out of here. One, you know, your patience with being a parent of someone with autism, right? And I know Autism Awareness just passed in April, and I wasn't aware that. I think you told me before, like every 2 cases are the same. Well, not every 2 cases are the same.
Right.
So can you talk about how that, you know, having a son with autism has taught you patience with your players? Just with a lot of things in the basketball community.
It's really helped.
And with the clothing.
I mean, again, as I stated earlier, like my temper was not always the best, you know. He's taught me patience. He's taught me like unconditional love. Like I really love that kid, you know, and he's also taught me not to immediately judge somebody when you're out in public. You know, I don't like, you know, in the black community, you know, you see a kid fall out on, you know, and it's like, man, he need his ass whooped, you know, and like, quick. Man, I don't know what these parents doing with him, you know, and he really taught me like, bro, you don't know what that person got going on, you know, because autism doesn't necessarily have a look, you know, like unfortunately with Down syndrome, you know, you can kind of see that, you know, and so you can act accordingly. But like with him, he just looked like your regular tall, skinny black kid, you know, and so when he has his outbursts and things like that, you know, he's judged and we're judged and things like that, and that's unfortunate. But with that, I have learned patience. I have learned grace. You know, I have learned empathy, you know, and I think as I'm still learning in real time, it's important that, you know, people who aren't on the spectrum take time to learn,
for sure,
you know, and embrace those people, you know. So yeah, every 2 cases of autism is not the same. Now they do share, like, you know, similarities as far as you know, social habits and things like that are concerned. But yeah, I mean, you know, so he's nonverbal, but you have actors and actresses.
There's a lot of famous people on TV.
Yeah, I mean,
Geniuses.
Albert Einstein is probably, you know, the most famous, you know.
You think Albert's smarter than Elon? They said Elon might got it.
Yeah, I think Elon going to, you know, you know what I mean? If he's not diagnosed, he's straddling the line for sure, you know what I mean? Sure. But Eli, and I don't like just putting stuff on people, you know what I mean? But like, but there's I
wouldn't be surprised though.
There's some characteristics there where it's like, you know, but also too, I mean, man, like the way that they process information and the way that they, particularly the ones who are verbal, the way that they go about thinking and disseminating information is just, it's on another level, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I would just encourage people to, you know, if you do see a kid or you do see an adult even, you know, who's kind of like, yo, don't be so quick to jump to conclusions that the parenting is terrible or that, you know, this kid is a complete ass. Like, you never really know what people got going on, you know, and I think if you can lead with grace and lead with a little bit of empathy, it'll stop a lot of miscommunication, you know, from happening. You know, try to meet people where they're at and work and be more solution oriented versus the judgment that kind of comes with it.
Man, and that's like it's not a constant battle once you just slow down and just, like you said, have empathy.
Yeah.
Everybody, because everybody is going through something, especially right now.
Right.
I think we all got battles. It's just like, it's not about who battles bigger than the other. Just have grace.
Right. Just a little bit of grace goes a long way, man.
Man, speaking of grace, I think you know, your Knicks, right?
We're going to the finals, dog.
I don't know. I got Pacers in 7.
Come on, man.
Because one, y'all bet. I ain't gonna lie. I see holes in this team.
Come on, man.
First off, my Pistons has y'all number. It was close.
What was that song about?
Every game. Oh, but it don't matter. I know you got to get the win.
It was a song. Almost doesn't count.
That's real. But what I'm trying to tell you is y'all was sweating. Y'all was sweating. The Tim Hardaway 3, the foul. Each game, it was like, what is going on? How y'all beat Boston? Y'all won. I don't know why they acting like Tatum or that injury mattered. Y'all had him up 3-1 before he got injured.
That don't matter. That don't matter. The series was over.
Don't sleep on the Pacers. Halliburton, I think he had y'all last year. Was he the reason y'all lost?
Bro, we can guard him.
No, y'all can. Y'all can.
We got 3 dudes that can guard him.
They not slept on.
Nobody sleep. No,
I feel like y'all sleep. I think y'all think this is a cakewalk.
No.
That's the vibes I'm getting when y'all throwing trash can.
I got Knicks in 6.
That video y'all throwing the trash can on that man with the Pacers jersey.
Welcome to the city.
It's going to come back around.
And he's a dumbass for wearing that jersey in the city. That was crazy. Yeah, like, you're stupid.
No, that was crazy. But I think also,
not that I condone violence, but I'm saying, like, you gotta know what you're doing.
When the Knicks win, I think sports is good.
Like,
it's the the best.
Yeah, it's the best.
I feel like that fan base is just like soccer vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like real.
Bro, we were terrible culture. And it was still selling out. Like
you can't do that.
We were awful. And I was still, my Knicks had it's just a thing, you know.
If Brunson get a championship, you got him over Melo? Because I'll be
yeah.
You like he a dog.
Yeah. I mean, and Melo would understand. Melo would understand.
You got him over like Allen Houston, all the boys.
I got him over everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Yo, he bring a chip to the city, bro.
He's a dog.
He is very good at basketball.
I ain't gonna lie.
You know what's crazy? They started unearthing, some of the takes from when he was getting drafted, you know, and then even when he was at Villanova.
Stephen A. been wrong so many times.
Yo, bro. I mean, now.
I get it.
He does have a hard job though, because every day there's a new take that he has. You know, you're not gonna shoot 100%. But that one was just, I don't know what he was looking at, because when he was at Villanova, I was like,
he was a winner.
This dude is like that.
He was a winner.
Yo,
but he's getting better though.
Right.
That's the thing about it. I ain't gonna lie. Even with the Pistons series, when I thought he twisted his ankle, he came back like Isiah Thomas.
Yo,
and he just scoring at will.
Dog.
I'm like, what? This nigga is too good. But it's all cool because next year I had got called from my people in the office. We getting D-book and we shipping Hardaway ass off to Shanghai. You feel me? So it's gonna be all good next year. Yeah, he gonna.
That's crazy.
Is they gonna have courtside season?
Man?
Yeah, Book. He want to come back home to Michigan, and you gonna like that. We gonna keep the bigs. We gonna separate, spread the floor a little bit. Shanghai. Tobias.
Well, I was about to say, what we doing with Tobias though, and that contract.
I don't know. Tobias, my dog, because he like my class. I want to say because I remember when Trey went to go play with him. And Trey Golden played with him in Tennessee.
Trey Golden was so cold.
Trey Golden was it up. But I want to also ask you this, because I know you said the Milton coach had found you at Sprayberry. I think you had mentioned, I don't know who you had said. You said one of your homeboys was at Milton.
Yeah. My basketball mentor
was he around when this kid, Dejan Parker, was there?
Yeah.
See, when you said Milton, you know, I remember seeing him when he first came from New Orleans, and I was doing a scoreboard game at North Cobb. He was at Marietta High School.
Yep.
And I remember seeing this dude, and I'm like, this nigga playing like LeBron James.
He was different.
Crazy.
Nah, he was different.
And that team was different.
Team was loaded.
Yeah, that team was different. That's why I was like, do you remember that team?
Yeah, unfair.
Rest in peace him, too, because I think, short tragedy, but
he caught a bad
That
break.
was a... Talent-wise, that dude was different.
Yeah, he was very good. He was very good.
I remember actually seeing him in Marietta High School. And I think a lot of people don't even know that. But
it's funny because, and see, that's what being in the right place will do for you. Yeah. Because he was like that at Marietta.
He was like that.
And just nobody knew. Because it was Marietta. You know what I mean?
But this dude is like... LeBron vibes.
That dude was different, man.
Of course, his height ain't in a good like LeBron, but it was just like early.
Nah, that kid was good.
I want to ask you this to them. So, who's your top 5 college all time? Right? Who your all time in the college? It's gonna be
college all time. That's
because like mine's is like I got like
let me
Gay
hear.
Let
me hear you. Okay.
I like who you seen with your own eyes. Like in college, I got like Rudy Gay, Rashad McCants. Before he started tripping, like when I
but
see
he
was
go,
that in college.
He could go at UNC. He could go.
Ben Gordon, different. You can, I think them my 3.
Tough.
And then I want to put Kemba in there, but it may be because I remember seeing players vividly, like maybe Ben Gordon, Rashad, Rudy. I would say I remember a lot. I want to say Tayshaun Prince, Kentucky. I was young. And then, I'll get one more just to hurry up. JJ. JJ was like a god, though.
Nah,
right?
So crazy
and
enough.
You a big Duke fan.
Yeah, crazy enough, JJ Redick is in my top 5.
Yeah, like JJ was a god.
It's really hard to not be
excited
about.
He was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, like
he just wasn't doing the airness.
Yeah, he just wasn't dunking. Yeah. But I mean, it's really difficult to like not have him as far as college is concerned in the top 5. He was really good for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going JJ. I'm going Melo.
I'm
going Kevin Durant.
Oh, Texas.
I'm gonna go.
I thought Rudy was.
You know what? I gotta go and show love to the post players right here, man. I gotta go Boogie Cousins, dog. Like Boogie was.
Well, he was at Kentucky.
Yeah, he was at Boogie was so good, dog. Like I mean, he was great in the league too. Like I think without those injuries, bro, he's
still there.
Yeah, he's different.
Boogie was different.
And then man. I don't mind. I like the Kemba Walker. That's sneaky good right there.
Yeah,
that's sneaky good.
Kemba, he was a dog.
Cardiac Kemba. Yeah.
Go. All-time Wheeler list. Top 5.
That's tough. But all right, I got you. I'm going Sharif Abdul Rahim.
Okay.
I'm going D.A. Lane.
Mm.
I'm going Sherrod Curry.
Mm.
I'm going...
All winners.
I'm going Isiah Collier. And then that fifth one... damn, that fifth one is tough. I'm about to leave somebody out. Yeah. It's gonna be bad.
You can do an honorable mention.
That fifth one, I gotta go Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I gotta go. Those my five.
Jaylen ended up getting a ring.
Yeah, he won in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, won at the free throw line.
Best one I ever seen out of Wheeler, with my own eyes, was Phil Taylor.
I was just about to say honorable mention would definitely be Phil, because I mean, you know, 4-year varsity dude. Mm-hmm. You know, he's won.
Yeah.
He went. I mean, he had an amazing high school career. And I'm going high school only, not like what they did, you know, after high school. But Phil was special, man. And there's a couple other dudes. I mean, you know, JT Tiller, David Gonzalez. Like, I mean, it's a bunch of dudes,
list go
man.
Crazy.
It's a bunch of dudes.
Then you got
my boy Richard McCray.
We could talk all day, but I hope the battery ain't down for the camera. I think I know you're a big Holt fan.
Oh yeah, all time. Yeah, all time.
Yeah.
There's
who your top 5 albums from?
Top 5 albums?
Yeah. Like
okay, yeah. Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, Volume 1. This is in no particular order.
You need to be in order.
It needs to be in order.
Yeah.
That's tough. Okay. I'm going Volume 1.
Okay.
No. I'm going Volume 2.
I'm
going
My Lifetime?
Volume 1 is in my lifetime. Volume 2. I'm going Volume 2. That's Hard Knock Life.
Okay.
I'm going Volume 2, number 1, Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
444, American Gangster, and
it is hard trying to put that shit in order, though.
Yeah, and the fifth one,
but if you got 5,
yeah, and then that fifth one, I'm gonna go Dynasty album
with Soon You'll Understand. That's a great album. With intro,
very good.
You know, that one called me later on in life, and I'm like, yo, this album.
Yeah, nah.
A lot of people
do most of his albums,
because it's like that's the beauty of his music. It's like, damn,
yeah, I mean,
how did he know this?
Yeah, and you can play it. I mean, if you go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt, like now, it's still relevant. Like
to this day
now. You know what I mean? And so yeah.
You been to his concert before?
Yeah, I've been to a bunch of them.
Yeah, I went to 444, the last one.
I went to, I even went to the one where he was doing like the Hanger series, like he just popping up and then getting in and out. I went to the Blueprint tour, like so now, like I've been to a bunch of shows. You put
Magna Carta in there. I got Magna.
Yeah, I mean, I got Magna as but you know what? I mean, I could take out
Magna slept on
Dynasty and put Magna in
that's
there.
your list, though.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I think the issue with Magna, not issue, but I think because that, to me, that felt more of like a collaborative album, just like the Dynasty album is. But like, I don't know. That for me, ain't really like hit like that, you know. It felt more so like Kanye was really trying to be like, yo, like, what about me too? You know, like it felt more like
Watch the
that.
Thrones, ain't it?
Yeah.
Magna Carta was
Magna Carta, Holy Grail.
Holy Grail. Oceans and Fuck Up the World, and Crown and Heaven. All them. Marcy Me is crazy.
Marcy Me is. You know what? You've convinced me.
That's a crazy.
I gotta take that out. I gotta take Dynasty out and put Magna Carta in it. I'm gonna listen to it in the whip.
He going crazy on there.
He went absolutely ballistic.
It's like a straight through.
Yeah, there's no skips on that joint. So I gotta.
Yeah, because I might play. I've been playing it recently. That's why I bring that up.
Yeah.
Real Holt fans know, like, he's just different, man. I think the music remind you of like No Fiend shit, but it's like a dopamine to where it's like Because I remember when I first met you, I come and hop in the car, you was playing Benny the Butcher. A lot of people don't play Benny the Butcher.
A lot of people don't play Benny the Butcher.
People in the South.
People in the South are not up on Benny.
Yeah, they not on Benny.
Not in the way that they should be.
Yeah, and I'm like...
That whole Griselda Black Soprano joint is like, all of them are dope.
It brings you that feel back.
Yes, it feels so good. It like you just feel good. Yeah.
Till hopefully I think Jay-Z drop another album. Because
we're
I
gonna
think
get
his
one
pen's
more.
still sharp.
Yeah, we're gonna get one more.
I think
and then he's done.
His real fans know he got one more in him.
He's got one more album and then that's it. Yeah.
I swear I'll be
that's
good.
all I need.
I swear I'll be good one.
In fact, like I don't know what's taking so long right now because like I feel like but I'm just like, man, like I think you got one more.
There's been a lot of yapping.
You got one more album. I mean, if Wayne could put out the Carter 19, you know what I mean? Like you can.
But like you said, he big on quantity.
Quality over quantity. Yeah,
he's big on that. I think when he did the what's that one with Kylie, that verse?
Yeah,
it was like that's how I told you they got it still.
Oh yeah,
because that shit was ridiculous when you first heard it. When you first heard it, I know you was just like,
I played it back like 7 times, like, and I was like, yeah, nah, this dude
different.
is good. Like, nah, this dude is good.
Super good.
And I'm like a huge like rap battle fan.
Yeah.
So like, I'm always locked in on like, what are you saying? Because I feel like as a rapper, if you would say something that I think I can say, I don't want to hear you for real. Like, I'm like, I could do that, you know. He doesn't do that, you know, and like people like Griselda, you know, and like funny enough, like I don't know if you up on them or not, but like I like Stove God Cooks, like
Stove God is spitting.
Yeah, like them dudes, yeah. I'm like, yo, like
them dudes is talking crazy.
Yeah, but
you come from that environment where
I'm a big Stove God
like
Cooks
that.
fan.
I ain't gonna lie, like I'm like, yo, y'all not hearing this brother right here.
Yeah, nah,
one of them is out his mind.
He's
like,
really good.
Yeah, they just be talking. You got any shout outs though?
Yeah, nah, man. Number one, man, shout out to you, man. Shout out the platform. Like, super dope what you doing. And anybody that has it figured out and is still falling in love with not only the destination, but like the process and the journey of getting to that destination. Like, I think I always connect with, and I think it's always a good vibe, you know what I mean? So salute to you and the platform. I want to shout out my family. I'm gone a lot, you know, and friends and family, or family and friends, excuse me. But without their support, like it's super difficult for me to even think that I can obtain, you know, my goals and dreams and aspirations. So I'm super thankful for them, all of them. Even when, you know, things aren't so great, you know, nobody makes it on their own, you know, so I want to be real clear about that. And then, man, you already know what it is, man. Yo, shout out to the 375 Holt Road. You know what I mean? Like, tap in with us. You know, you good up at the school whenever you want to pull up.
I'll be there. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah. Shout out to the whole Wheeler alumni. And then, you know, definitely my Decatur Blazers Jet Academy fam. You know, shout out to them as well. My basketball mentor for putting me in position to further my career and have a positive impact in the basketball community, Mark Edwards. And then really, man, like just everybody that's doing something positive, and people that have fallen in love with the process of excellence and being great. And there's just so much mediocre happenings, you know, that it's great to be a part of something that transcends that, you know. And so those, you know, those, I hope I ain't leave nobody out. If I did, you know, put it on my speech, not on my heart, you know. But yeah, nah, I really appreciate you though, man. A dope opportunity, and thank you,
man. I love that speech. It's gonna be hard to top that one. I ain't gonna lie. I think, like you said, as far as my shout outs, I gotta shout out to you again for coming on here, because on the vulnerable side of this, if you're listening, you know, we're beginning, you know, business with IBI, and you know, we had shot an original episode where we had sound issues, and I know a lot of people may think sometimes that it's all peaches and cream, or you know, it'd be a lot of like behind the scenes things with these things when you're trying to build something from the ground up,
right?
And so I really appreciate you coming back again out your time, because one, I don't like playing with people's time. I'm raised like that.
Yeah.
As much as I used to quit when I was younger, I was still raised, you know, to never play with people's time, be respectful, you know, certain man qualities that I take very serious. And so, yeah, I gotta shout you out again for just coming back out your way to get back on this platform, because you could have easily been like, bro, I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you are a busy man. You helping with these kids. You coaching multiple teams. So that really mean the most to me, you know, and I had to tell you that on camera, you know what I'm saying? And anybody out there that's thinking it's perfect, that's why I love excellence is a, you know, process, because it's kind of, that slogan itself kind of has just been like, it's a process. It's not going to be one of them things that's like, it's never going to be perfect the first 100,000 times, you know what I'm saying? And just that mindset alone will keep you far. And I think I love that. I might even call the episode that. I'm still picking in between that, you know what I'm saying? But excellent is a process. You know, we still got more work to do.
Still got more work to do.
And shout out to all the listeners. You know, I was supposed to say in the beginning, subscribe. I'll be forgetting to do that. Still learning. Shout out to Sage, our cameraman. My fingers is crossed that this sound work. Lord knows. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to, you know,